Welcome to ElkemTV Untold Story. My name is Elijah Kelvin Marungi, and this is the Untold Stories Inspire. To us, the young people, and to the people out there, we were supposed to come back and complete Turyahikayo. Now, the last is secondary. He studied variation. For purposes of record, I guess the university is Chambogo. Yes, Chambogo University. So now here is Innocent Turyahikayo, and we are going to be able to expound on that particular part of the politics. Now this show is proudly sponsored by Kabalega Resorts, and they are saying you can reach out to them for conference services or facilities, the bar and restaurant services, the sauna for those that want fitness, or the Zumba healthy club fitness. It is going to be starting on the 26th of January, this coming week, the other coming week, and you can be in position to reach out every morning from 9 a.m. that is every Sunday, and then you get to enjoy the Zumba so that you can get fit, but also you can be located in both Masindi and in Hoima. And for those that are in Hoima, you can reach out Kabalega Resort Hoima, and then also in Masindi we have Kabalega Resort Masindi. All right, so we're going to pick it from the political bit. So Innocent, the political career starts right in I don't know, you didn't tell us if you had any leadership roles in secondary.
Yeah, I was all level. I was leader, both in class, even from primary. Leader both in class.
That is the class monitor bit.
Yeah. Then in secondary, I was prefect. In charge of sports when I was academy.
Let's have the microphone up for audibility.
So I was prefect. In A level, I was also prefect. So
which kind of prefect are we looking at? You could be a liturgy prefect.
no.
Liturgy no kulembere bya dini.
So in O level, I was a sports prefect.
Okay.
I was a sports prefect, and I did very good work.
Okay. That is why they say nowadays. I've heard a lot of people say atakwagala oba okola ki kati wano eyandibadde omukulembeze baali bamulaba.
So in A level, I was a class counselor for senior 6, and I won by landslide vote.
What is a landslide vote?
Do you know when you trounce your opponent by more than 90%? That is a landslide victory. So it is equivalent to as if the person you're contesting with was not there.
Was not there. Yes. It is equivalent that you are not opposed.
Exactly.
So could we say it is also equivalent to what we see in the Kyagulanyi Museveni vote?
No.
Oh, let's not go there.
That's contested. So I was a leader through school. Campus, I was also a leader. I was on different committees of the GRC. I lost elections at campus for GRC, guild representative to the council. Then I went and contested in the GRC for leadership of some committees where I went through. I was leading some powerful groups like the Debating Society of Chambogo, and led it to a different heights. And was also in the Kisa communities, these cultural communities where I was very active. And that's what forced me to come back home and participate in community mobilization, where I realized that there was young people were not so much involved in mainstream politics. They were so concentrated in these electoral colleges. So I said, no, in the coming elections, I am going to offer myself for a political position. All
right. Now, for those that are picking this story right from here, initially you used to be a presiding officer.
And a parish supervisor, even a polling assistant. I also worked on that That was the beginning point.
Okay. At any point, did you become a candidate? How do they call them? These people that got the vote, agent.
No. I was working for the Electoral Commission. So my role was to facilitate elections to take place. So I was a polling assistant, became a presiding officer in the next election, and also became a parish supervisor.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, I got to realize that there was a missing link. Young people not participating in elections. They were focusing on these electoral colleges. And you see, politics is where decisions are made. People keep saying that but this is where decisions are made. Policies that are affecting us, if they want to talk about taxes, the laws, what, everything rotates about politics. Actually, for me, politics is about how resources are distributed within our societies. So if you have a poor negotiating capacity, that means you're going to suffer. That's why young people are not so much into politics. They call them marginalized. The PWDs are not so much. They call them marginalized groups. The women. That's why you have these empowerment programs. Women, youth, PWDs, the elderly, the what. But now, today we have a lot of young people who are active in politics but don't represent the cores of young people. So I said, no. For Masini's case, I will come out and stand and be the mainstream politics.
Okay. Now, I can see there are some of the things that you have identified right there. Now, speaking about what encourages you to join mainstream politics. Yes, you've mentioned about the PWDs, the marginalized young people, but also I think there could be a spark of factor that you felt like this is enough, I need to engage and be a participant in this whole thing.
So generally, as an individual, I don't want to be I don't want dominance. If it is me who is feeling different things going on, I want to come out. Don't want to be dominated. I don't want to see dominance of a given group of people. I also want to participate. This is a tip for our viewers and for our people, that sometimes you need to, you see they say, if you wash your hands, you will dine with elders. You get it? So sometimes if you want something, if you want to be recognized, you need to come up. If you didn't start Elkem from where you did start from, nobody would know that Elkem would exist. So the best way to do something is to start it. So people are saying, Alinda okyali muto, toka soire, toina maka. So up to when? Today, you know the problems they're facing as young people. And employment, sente entaito, sente zokufuna zona, kusasula masanyalazi, ogura airtime, ogura data, ogura maizi,
transport.
Rent. So you find life is for rent. So nobody's going to advocate for us if we don't come out. So those are some of the spark factors, and they continue to dwindle in my head every other time. Abasigazi, young people, today I'm 31, tomorrow in the next 5 years I will be maybe 36. I will be leaving a specific generation. So if we continue want to look at me as a dominant factor, you will continue suffering because nobody will be speaking your voice.
I think that makes sense because, look, you see when someone is looking at I will not engage, they forget that these are good 5 years of someone else being taking that whole time, but also making a lot of decisions on your behalf. 5 years. Because when you mentioned 31 now, plus 5, that makes it 36. So what happens at your age, considering how much time or how the tenure looks like for these people in leadership. Now, we understand that, of course, while you're contesting, there are a lot of things that come through. Member of Parliament is not a joke.
True.
but also it takes a lot of boldness. It takes a lot of consistency in what you're trying to do, because along the way someone could come and be like, you need to step out, and before you know it, someone who convinced us beyond reasonable doubt is saying, nkozereki mbiyeganyire mbirugiremu. Yeah, how does that feel? First of all, before we get to some of the criticisms and challenges you've had, how does it feel to know that I have picked the nomination forms, I am going for this position, or contesting for this seat?
Now, Kelvin, when I sum that one today, if you have your basic mathematics, in 2021, how old was I?
That is, you were about 25, no, 26, about that.
26. I was actually the youngest candidate in this for I think, yes. So, now.
Okay, but when someone actually thinks about it, it doesn't feel like at 26 someone contested.
Exactly. But the likes of Norbert Mao that you see today went to parliament at such an age.
Okay.
They went to parliament when they were young. The Odongo toes that you hear, and they were very vibrant. They went to parliament, served for 2 terms, came out. They continued to lead, and their aspirations were now for the top seat and to influence policies. So, when I decided to pick, when I said I would pick, first time people were like, said, you're joking. I was like, okay. So the issue was that, how are you going to pick nomination forms? Because I can tell you that before you think about picking nomination forms, you have to think about the cost implication. Me and you know that before you pick nomination forms, you know that you're going to pay 3 million for picking nomination forms. You need to have money to make posters, to do what?
The branding now.
The branding of a person. I didn't have even a bicycle. You get it. So I had network, and it's good to believe in yourself and believe in your fellow young people. Not all of them may be knowing your vision, but there are those who will understand. So I had a group of young people I shared with, whom I started with. Nyawagamba, I want to contest. Said, how are we going to do this, the money and whatever. By that side, that time I had enrolled for my master's at Islamic University. So I thought about fundraising. Nyawaramu, I will go to Nani to get 10, 20 to make 3 million. So one of my colleagues whom I was with in UID, Uganda Young Democrats at Jambogo, said, Innocent, we can get the party ticket. He took me through the nitty-gritties of being a member of the party when you're contesting for elections. So I accepted that. I convinced myself I should align myself with the party.
Now, right there on the party bit, out of all the,
unlike other parties, DP is almost making 80 years.
80
from 1954. Those are how many years? That's around should be 70 now. So
76 about that.
Around there maybe. My math is a little, but from 1954. So it has been here. It has shaped a number of young people. It has shaped the politics of this country. But also its values. They're not so radical. They represent the protection of institutions. They represent promotion of justice. And there is that kind of neutrality it presents. And it is a reputable party. So it spoke to my values, and I said no, whether the circumstances, this is where I belong, and I choose that path.
Okay. And
I don't regret it. And the party supported me in the initial stages of seeing myself being nominated as a candidate, because they paid my nomination fees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 million, and I'm very grateful. That's why I have that allegiance to the party, because when people are saying that you can't contest,
God was, okay, should we say also God was putting away already for you, because
we can say that,
Mm.
but why people saying that you can't contest, you can't do ABCD, the party believed in me at that time. So, I prepared, but also they say luck meets the prepared.
Of course.
So, before you are assumed to go and get nomination forms to contest, you are supposed to have satisfied papers from your neighbor, which was requiring around 600,000.
Certified papers from
You certify your papers to confirm that these papers are authentic, they are from your neighbor. So the two levels, O and A level, that's 300 each. So I satisfied my papers and also prepared my documents very well. Then I had to present them to the party secretariat, and they approved them. So I was on the list of the candidates that were to be nominated by the party to represent, to hold their card here in Masindi.
Okay.
Yes. So when I secured that, so I came back to my drawing line to create a brand and whatever, because the party was handling most of the things. So time reached, I had picked the nomination forms, filled them, took them to the secretariat, they stamped them. I brought them back to the party, to the electoral commission here. And the staffs, because I used to work with them, they were like, Innocent, you're joking, you can't come with the things. Said, you wait. And time came and I had to return the nomination forms. You see, it is different to pick nomination forms
and returning them. Because you have done a lot of thinking.
Exactly.
You have evaluated yourself, and now at this point you're like, this is the point of no retardation.
Exactly. So I returned the nomination forms on that day. It was 16th of October, November. Yeah. So I returned the nomination forms. I was nominated duly, and I went with my fellow young people, by the way. I had Sharon, I had Robert, you remember Robert from RPP?
Yeah, Robert Asimwe.
Yes, Asimwe, and one of members of the representatives, and my family, my sister and other family member.
To return nomination forms.
Yes.
Okay, why is it supposed to be that order? I thought this is something you can do solo and...
No, you are supposed to go with your nominators. People who nominated you, they should be on the nomination, attached on the list among those who nominated you. So they should be on that form. Okay,
so in other words, while you pick the nomination forms, it is not just you consenting, but also people should consent.
Yes,
for you to stand.
Exactly. We are nominating, we are seconding you.
Okay.
Exactly. So went there, returned the forms, I was duly nominated. My name's taken, my passport put in the files, and the chairman said, on this date, this time, I duly nominate you as a candidate for Member of Parliament, Masini Municipality. He sent me to the field to campaign. Yes.
I am just imagining. Excuse me. I'm just imagining how that moment really feels, because I am quite sure that there is a possibility that the chair could say no.
Yes. For example, if you don't have the requirements, one, you should have the nominators. I think there were around 10. The nominators, your forms should be stamped by, and they call them, these people who administer oath, the lawyers. It should have, you should have your academic qualifications there.
Yeah, and certified.
Certified by the NEB. You should have the bank slip for the 3 million. Then those nominators should be around you, should have your national ID. And you should be also a duly registered voter. You get it? So you present those things. If you're a party candidate, you should have the stamp of the Secretary General in the forms. So you present those documents. They check and verify each. So if you take your documents which are not satisfied, do not prove them.
Okay.
Just squash you out. Yes.
Wow, it was quite some work. All right, our viewers that are watching us live on ElkemTV, thank you so much for keeping it live on ElkemTV. This is the untold story of Innocent Turyahikayo. Yeah, I guess somewhere the producer on Turyahikayo, that spelling needs to be fixed so that people can really get to see, to know very well the spelling of Turyahikayo Innocent. So after picking after taking back or returning the nomination forms, and now it is time to get to the field and to spend.
To spend officially.
Now let me ask, before you started spending, how did what was at the back of your mind? Was it, did you know that you were going to have returns on investment, because it is an investment right there? But also, what are these let's say that the president, usually like NRM, they have their 10-point program. Now for you, what was it in this case?
So most times when you're a party candidate, you represent the party manifesto.
Okay.
You see, individuals don't make manifestos. These are like wishes which I will share with you, that you want to see your people, that you want to do for your people, lobby. But if you're a party candidate, you represent the party manifesto. It's because our politics is the winner takes it all. So if President Museveni wins today, all candidates here, whether you are FDC or you are what, you are going to implement the NRA manifesto. They should never lie to people, because for you don't running a budget. You know, like FDC doesn't have a budget to do programs. So you are in government. That's why they will come here and talk. They are supposed to come here and monitor government programs, PDM, roads, what? Because this is in the manifesto of
the party
that won the elections. But my aspirations and my wishes that I thought that our people should be benefiting from. One, I was looking at how do we increase public-private participation. You see, Uganda's
private participation,
PPP. You see, Uganda's money, like the money in the budget, is hugely in public procurement. And today, most of the deals, public deals, they procurement.
Okay.
But our people know about those procurement plans and projects? They don't. This is for the few. So my issue was that how do we open up the minds of the public to know that money is here? How can you participate in this public procurement, these public deals or programs? Like Elkem, as a company, you can offer consultancy services to Masindi district. You know that?
Yeah. Or they can even do benchmarking from...
From you, exactly. How can we organize our young people to form institutional organizations that can do these programs? Because money is there. And people have tried to hide this information from our people. So one of my things was, how do we open up this? Today we are lucky, we are thankful to PPDA that they have put 15%, they have said 15% of annual budgets of local governments, of entities, should be allocated to special interest groups, the youth, PWDs, marginalized, the women, like that. And today when I checked with Masindi district, they didn't achieve that. Why? The leaders didn't organize the public. That there can be groups who can take on these projects up to, I think, up to 30 million. So that opportunity is there. We need to tell our people. Secondly, was how do we mobilize resources to support teachers? Today the government be able, amidst the meager salary they get, to upgrade their education. Because we have a lot of teachers on grade 3, they need to do diploma and go for bachelors. Because they said after 10 years, no teacher will be allowed to in class without a bachelor's degree. So that was also one of our issues. Thirdly, we are looking at, we know the largest population there is young people. But we are saying the job sector that is absorbing young people is very thin. And when you come into our district, there has been limited efforts to create jobs by our leaders. For example, the district. You have, for example, a factory like Inyara, you see the deteriorating environment of how people are working. So people are no longer interested in working in Inyara now.
Okay.
because of the environment. So we have few industries or manufacturers within the area creating jobs. So how do we mobilize investors to come here? How do we work with local government to have investors come here? How do we mobilize resources to see that young people who are involved in a different sectors like arts, creativity, the digital community, how do we mobilize resources? How do we build their capacity to take on to this economy that's growing differently? How do we tap onto globalization? That's what we should be looking at, because the district is going to advertise for 4 CDO jobs. You have almost 200 people applying, young people. How do we change the mindset of young people to think, to be creative, to be innovative? But also we need to put in facilities for young people to do what? To enhance their capacity. When you got our public library here, can we be able to put like a job bureau for young people to come and be able to apply? See, sometimes even young people fail to have money to print their documents.
True.
We need to see how to build capacity for young people to understand how do you leverage technology to create jobs, or also to seek for jobs. Today, I don't need to go to, I don't need to come here to know more about Elkem. I need to visit your social handles, your website, your platforms. So can young people navigate through this technology? Those are the things to teach what? Our people to understand. Those are some of the things that I was looking at that time. And also looking at sports. We have a full structure of DFA here and teams locally here. So we don't need to create de facto sports communities to popularize ourselves. We need to invest, to mobilize resources and invest in the existing sports communities, fraternities here, so that they can be able to absorb young people who are local here and build this capacity, build that fan base. Okay. For example, why should I organize a tournament in my community instead of calling DFA on board and say, I have 20 million, I want to divide this money into the most prominent clubs around here to boost their capacity so that they're able to have more funds on board
and hence
and have more money. And also the young people will say, hey, people can support this club, so let's enhance our talents and skills.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Innocent Turyahikayo. Okay, I like the fact that most of these things are rooting into the young people, because honestly, the future is the young people and the future is the youth. Yes. Yeah, because without the youth, honestly, a lot cannot really be done. And the other bit where you speak of being in position to see how the education system, because you see, when you look at the sciences and the arts, there is a very big variation. And now the question is, can all of us go and do sciences so that we get to enjoy good salaries? That is honestly a very good bit when you say finding ways on how these people can upgrade to see that they earn a better living. All right, we're going to go for a very short commercial break, and when we return, we shall be doing our last segment of the Untold story. But of course, we shall get to hear the personal insights. A bit of, you did mention about the challenges here and there, but also how you managed to go through them. The Untold story returns. All right. Thank you so much, our viewers, for keeping it live on Elkem TV. My name is Elijah Kelvin Morongi, and this is the Untold story. So today we're completing part 2 of this particular story, and Innocent Turyahikayo is still our guest of this day, and we're getting to understand these things that he has gone through, and what moving forward, what are we expecting. But also behind the scenes, we were looking at me and him were talking about how particular years from now we shall be seeing him in that particular seat as member of parliament. And then me and you, the viewers, all you would say is we saw this gentleman start in 2021 here and there. Okay, finally he made it, and things like that. So we're going to encourage all of you to support the young people in politics, because the future is youth. The future is the young people. All right, now continuing from, we left it at a bit when you had told us about your political journey, but also what inspired you to do that, and then a bit of the manifesto, the things that you came through with to see that they are game changers for Masindi district, but also for the young people, and also tackling the most important thing in this country, that is education. Much as people nowadays think education is no longer the key to success, the key got lost, the key to success. But we are very hopeful that yes, education is still the key to success, because without education, I think people should have education. Maybe a bit we should change the narrative that it is not more about success, because you can still be educated but not successful. But then you're educated and you're educated and exposed.
Sometimes people also miss out on the word education. I think people have locked their heads that education is about going to class.
Okay. Reading a lot of books.
People need to understand. Someone told me that when you go to school, or when you get an opportunity of being oriented through things, you are supposed to come and make a difference in life, in your community. Elkem, wherever you learned from and whatever, when you started this initiative of Elkem TV, this is the difference. This is what we want to see in public. If someone has done guidance and counseling, why don't you start
a counseling
center and support depressed people who are crying of mental health? If any someone has started is a teacher, he wants to first go to school. Why don't you start an online class for teaching? Today, that's where people are. A lot of people are online. They have not gone to school. They would wish to find materials for teaching. Why can't you start an online class and start teaching people? You get it? We need to be creative.
And that is why you find that the young people, they're in a lot of spaces, more especially digital spaces. And you see, lately, we were sharing about TikTok the other time, and you find that there are a lot of young people on TikTok.
True.
People are putting in the energy, and you'll be like, okay, I am seeing this person, but why are they doing all this? What is motivating them to do all this? Then before you know it, at least they have a sponsor or two. Yeah, to be able to push their craft. And then that is how they are earning a living. Now, Innocent, the position that you contested for, as we leave the political bit of it, was quite heavy to an extent that a lot of people will criticize you. Now, let us handle only criticism. How do you handle criticism? Not just in politics, but all around.
Now, the first and foremost thing in life is know where you want to go. You see, you're not going to respond to every barking dog. So if you're moving to Kawarwana, you well know that from that place where there's IDI,
The corner.
Some houses have bisagati or fences,
Mm.
some don't have.
Mm.
Now, if you start hearing barking dogs from those enclosed houses and you stop, when you reach Kabarwan,
Mm.
but your target is to reach where?
Kabarwan.
So I want to do that. First and foremost thing, know where you're going, know what you want to achieve, and keep with an end in mind.
Yeah, you begin with the end
in mind.
Mm.
Continue moving. So you are going to have a lot of distractions, but if you want to respond to every distraction, so the first strength on my side is I know what I want in life. I know what I want for myself. I know what I want to do for the people when it comes to my public life. I know what I want to do for my family when it comes to my family.
Mm.
I know what I want to do for myself when it comes to me innocent.
Mm.
So people want to do much for others and forget about themselves.
Themselves, that is true.
So those three things guide me because I have a life when it comes to public life. I have a life when it comes to family. I have a life when it comes to me.
Mm. Personal life.
Exactly. So I know what I want to achieve. So every time I get criticisms, I reflect back on what. So when you criticize me, I'm going to look at the criticism. If it is worth, I will take it in good faith and adjust according to the goals. If your criticism is talking about my public life, my personal life, and I see this can affect my public life, I am going to adjust and take it in good faith. If I find it worth I will have to look out for that person and follow him more or her to understand why did he or she raise that issue against me. And if I find that after doing an evaluation, and move on.
Okay. All right.
The other thing is that managing criticism. Sometimes people have their intentions. So you need to be very sensitive on everything. Even you here, when you're running these things, someone may come and tell you that you have to be very sensitive. What is the motive? A man, where is he getting that energy to say that thing? So you need to be able to read people's attitudes towards you, people's attitude towards your action, people's attitudes towards your achievements or your failures. Some people want to celebrate your failures. Some people want to build on your failures and say, Birugeo, don't push further. You just have to read that environment. So you should be very cognizant of how people come to you, how people respond to your things. But also listen to feedback on whatever you do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Innocent Turyahikayo. It is very important to take in feedback. That one, of course, as we are doing life, this so-called life, feedback is a very key part that all of us need to take in, but constructive feedback. And now, as we conclude, getting to the personal, your personal insights. Many times we want to define people by how we see them. In other words, we want to read a book by its cover. Looking at Innocent Turyahikayo, how would you describe yourself and why?
So one, I am 60, 70%. I am a self-made person. But I'm also ambitious. But also, I'm a I am a person who keeps a lot of things privately, but I'm a people person.
Social.
Yes.
Okay. When it gets to family life, are you a father? Are you a husband? Are you a what?
I don't want to segregate, and one thing I want to say that I am a family person.
You're a family person.
I am a family person.
Okay. All right. Now when it gets to when it gets to what we are looking at as Innocent, besides politics, because a lot of people know you for politics and politicking. Yeah, yes, because a lot of times you appear in the media. So definitely, most of the times you're appearing in the media because you're doing politics. But of course, active, constructive politics. What are these other things Innocent does?
So, one, I am a social scientist by training and an administrator.
Mm.
So my profession is to look at social needs